Greetings and salutations, people of the internet. Austin here. It's been a little bit since my last Gotham Knights video, and I thought I'd rectify that while we're in the middle of this info drought, as we all eagerly await for new footage or information regarding this upcoming video game from WB Games Montreal. So, as you can tell by the video, I thought I'd take a old crack from my video series and just make a wish list for Gotham Knights, because I am an unoriginal bastard, and you all know that if you're subscribed to me. Yay. So, I'm going to hopefully break this down in order for you. If you don't have a lot of time, I'll put timestamps in the description of the video, so you can pick and choose what you want to hear me talk about. Without further ado, let's do this. First up in my wish list for Gotham Knight is going to be plenty of hidden rooms or secrets hidden around the map of Gotham this time around. Considering the Court of Owls being the main villains and the devs from WB Montreal talking about the history of Gotham and the 5 boroughs and the families connected to said boroughs, I think we're going to be getting a lot of history and secrets surrounding Gotham. So I think this one's probably a lock for what's going to happen, especially if we can hunt down the Talon nests hidden on the 13th floor around various buildings in Gotham. I could easily see that being a side activity, maybe using it to weaken the Court's power base or some form or fashion. I don't know. All I know is I want there to be plenty of secrets hidden around the map to discover. Not just any Riddler shit if he's in the game, though, let's be real, he probably is. But yeah, I always love discovering something hidden around a corner just by looking around or just going down a particular rabbit hole and finally getting that juicy lore payoff at the end of it. That's something I always find to be fun in these games, and I especially loved it in the Arkham series, so if they brought stuff like that back, I would be more than happy. Another thing I'd like them to bring back from the Arkham series, something I always love unlocking these. They were one of my favorite things alongside the character models, and that would be interview tapes. I love getting brief snippets into these villain psychologies, personalities that you can't sometimes do given their screen time, depending on the storyline they take with said characters. I always feel it's a nice way to really help flush them out to their problems, their personality, their strengths, and depending on who's interviewing them, have a good character back and forth, like with Hugo Strange in Arkham City. When he interviewed most of the major criminals he had locked up in there, those were always a treat, the back and forth he always had. So if they could help do that with some of the characters here, granted, not all of them will have it, obviously, but maybe for some of them who need a little flushing out and they just didn't have time to do it in the actual storyline they were given, I think that could be a good way to help familiarize players with these new versions of familiar or unknown characters. So next up, this one's going to be fairly simple. I want appearances, even if they're just cameos, from the Batman supporting characters. We already know we're getting Renee Montoya in this game. Finally. Love me some Renee Montoya. Especially if she becomes the Question some point in the series. That'd be fun. Like, we're getting Alfred, obviously, but maybe characters like Lucius Fox, Harvey Bullock, Leslie Thompson. Like, maybe you could go to her clinic and heal up if you need to. Stuff like that. Maybe Tim Drake's parents, if they're still alive in this universe. I know that's always flip-flopping whether or not they're alive or dead. I think mainly with his dad. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But, Yeah, I think that's good, just to help flesh out the characters, and especially if they have unique interactions with each playable character, so that could help add some replay value on top of everything else this game has going for it, especially if some characters like other characters more, or they have more of a strained relationship. That the dialogue options could be really interesting to explore. So yeah, give those sweet, sweet cameos, people. This next one's going to be real quick, because I've already talked about this in another video. I'd like a wide variety of villains to fight in this game. I know, shocker, but yeah, don't just stick to the A-listers. Bring in some lesser-known characters, help give them new life. But that, again, that's a tangent I've gone on time and time and time again, and I'm sure you're all sick of it, so I'm not going to go any further with this. Let's just move on to the next one I want to talk about, and that's something that I actually liked from Arkham Knight. I'm going to give it some praise here. I know this is rare, but I liked the evidence/trophy room in the GCPD whenever we took down a major criminal or threat in that game. I loved seeing it fill up throughout the entire game and hearing the little snippets of dialogue when you interacted with the cases. I always felt that was a great addition to help show your progress throughout the game, and if they could do that within the Belfry, since it's going to be acting as our pseudo-bat cave, or maybe do it again with the GCPD if we can get a better relationship after we take down the corruption brought on by the court or whatever factors leading into the GCPD being turned against us after Jim Gordon's murder. Let's be frank, he was killed. Look at the badge, that's an owl. But, yeah. I really, really hope they bring this back, because even with its own floor, oh my god, if it's its own floor in the Belfry and there's just like tons of space and evidence that we can collect, oh my god, I'd be so happy. You have no idea. And moving on to the last one, briefly touching on my supporting characters wish list, is quality character interactions. And this is mainly pertaining to the central four playable characters: Batgirl, Robin, Red Hood, Nightwing. Like, I want to see their interactions, like when cutscenes around the map with various characters. Because I think that's the one thing that's going to add a lot of replay value to this game, potentially, depending on how far they go with the dialogue options, like with each character and the person they're talking to. Because we could get a lot of info just from the slight variations in dialogue we get and how each character feels about another, and that could really help with world building and lore. Plus, if we can get, like, as things get worse and worse, maybe tensions start flaring up between the Bat family. Especially like if Tim feels like Batman's not dead and he's investigating while everyone else feels he's alive. Maybe he snaps at Jason like, oh, did you kill him? It wouldn't be the first time you tried. They get into a fight. Stuff like that. Just like seeing the Bat family interact with each other and the world around him is one of my major, probably the #1 thing I want to see in this game done justice. Because this could make or break this universe, potentially, depending on how they handle it. And I eagerly await to see how WB Montreal handle this. But, yeah. I don't have a lot more to say on this. This is just a quicker video than the last one I made. Just wanted to do this so I have something to talk about and hopefully help tide you guys over and get some discussions going. If you liked today's video, consider hitting that like button, subscribing, and hitting that bell, because YouTube's notification system's occasionally still pretty shit, as we all know. But, yeah. If you have anything you'd like to see in Gotham Knights in particular, list them down in the comments below. Maybe get some conversations going. And that will be it. Peace out, people. Have a good one.